What's going on YouTube? In today's video, I'm gonna be meeting with a mentor, Chris Dufey. This guy built a massive fitness business in Australia, and me and him had a conversation about scaling pizza domination, $2 million a month. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the episode. Let's go. What is up, brother?
Good to see you, brother.
I've been hyping you up literally all day to all my boys. I've been talking about you nonstop.
Also, just FYI, Callum is my right-hand man. He's a absolute weapon.
Nice to meet you, Cal.
Hi guys, nice to meet you.
I guess I'll do a little bit of an intro for my boys too. So Austin and Horace, they are my ads and funnel guys. They're super reliable, super integral. And this is Jasmine. She writes all of the copy. She's a legend. She's really, really great at what she does. So this is the marketing team at PT Domination. My intention for today is if we could talk about what you did at Cartel that made it so successful with ads, because we did everything organically. We've done everything organically. And so if I can turn on the taps with ads, I feel like it's gonna start to really separate me from everybody else in the space. And that's what I'm looking for.
Dude, what we did for the Cartel was amazing. What we do now is shit tons better. Like, there's a couple things that kind of like immediately jumped to me as well. Offer is good. Obviously, I can see the targeting of what the offer is. Like, we're getting like your first, client as to what's going on. Like, so one of the best lead generator tools that I used inside of the Cartel was the book. Your first 100 clients, right? If I was to do it again, I would change it to your next 100 clients rather than your first 100 clients. Because there's obviously the positioning of the market and stuff like that as well for us to be able to like use this sort of stuff. And obviously all of the IP and stuff like that, we can obviously hit. We've got social proof through the wazoo. I want to use more of that more effectively as well as something for us to be able to go through. I'm always like one page, one call to action. Like one page, one call to action. Like get them just to do one key factor as to what is. And obviously in this, it would be like the text message. Correct me if I'm wrong, Brian, where is the majority of the market?
They're on Instagram.
Sorry, countrywide, geographically, like US, Canada?
80% of the clients that we sign are from US and Canada, yes.
I understand this is probably opening up to like iMessage or something like that that's inside. I would probably drive it to WhatsApp, and just because the WhatsApp is getting indoctrination is a lot higher for us to be able to use, and because it syncs in with a bunch of things with Meta, because Meta now owns WhatsApp also. So yeah, anyway, one call to action, go through that. Email, I'd fix copy and focus and steps and stuff like that with email. Also, the other thing as well, like when I go through this, I haven't received another email. I'm like, where the fuck, give me more emails. I'm coming in, hit me up hot as I go through this process, get to me on other platforms. Do you know what I mean? Like, get to me, especially through what I can in like any other omnipresence. And like something Cal's been able to dial in like an absolute mofo is the outbound setting. So that would be like one thing I'd want to like tap into it. And then obviously just looking at the social media side of things, the content is great. It's like you're world class at this, Brian. I just want to be able to amplify this stuff as well. And I know when I said to Cal, I was like, yo, Cal, do you want to take Brian on as a partner? Like, I know Cal would have been like, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker, I'm fucking into this. Like, we can blow this through the moon as well. And I'll let Cal jam on in just a second as well.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, one is I want to be able to create a system that we run ads that grows followership but gets leads, turns leads into prospects that gets us onto driving more calls, that then is able to have a high show rate, high conversion rate on calls, that also is able to then drive into a higher lifetime value. The other thing as well that I would do, not at the beginning, Brian, but in the near future, is to run some live workshops as well, because I feel like if someone is able to get onto like a once a month live call with you, we'll be able to sell a shit. So we're seeing about a 30% conversion rate should happen on a live workshop. So driving to a live workshop, let's say if we do it once a month, they are typically the people that will not buy through a DM and will not buy through getting onto a call. Now, and there's a couple of like important parts going through this process.
Yep.
The problem with the booking the call thing, one of the problems, it's not a problem, but it's a problem to be solved and managed, is a case of it's very likely they've already booked a call, had a strategy session, something along those lines. So the messaging that I want to come to the market is, hey, you've probably already had a discovery call or a strategy call or something like that. So I would position the actual the call differently and like name it something more like have a demo call. Let us show you what our system is so that worst case scenario, you see behind the scenes and you can apply it to your business. Best case scenario, we come in, we show you everything, give you it on a silver platter, and then you'll be able to blow your business up, right? Mm-hmm. And then talking to the point, like you've probably already talked to other people, like you and I know the scripts that these other people are using. Yeah. I would call that out. I would say, they've probably asked you these sorts of things, do you know what I mean? And so like talking to the skepticism in the marketplace will immediately separate us from everybody else.
Cool.
And
yeah, this is a juicy one, Brian. You got an epic business, bro, and like great media, a great brand. It's killer.
Thank you.
I just got probably got a couple more questions just like regarding my thing would be more around the ads because I love ads and spent money every day for the last 7 years straight now. Crazy. Why hasn't it worked for you before?
I feel like I've been figuring it out with other agencies for a long time. And like, again, I've always felt like it was like a part-time thing for a lot of people. Austin and Horace are the first people that I feel like it's like a full-time thing. We are putting in the work, but it's like, we've never had a measurable, this dollar led to this sale. I think a big part of that is like my main system is when people came in, I was selling everything through DMs. And so it's hard to measure how much ads dollars I'm spending is leading to the clients because I can't tell if it's coming from my organic content or if it's coming from the ads that I'm spending. So I think it's not setting up a system where we can track this dollar led to this client. And that's just across the board. That's how the business was set up.
Chris, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like almost a bit old school way of thinking now, like direct attribution to ads. Like a lot of the guys that are like pumping it right now, like they don't really give a fuck about where it comes from as long as their spend just turns into sales at the back end.
Yeah.
So like I think I'd push one thing of like, do you necessarily need to know where every single dollar is in and out, especially if it comes to like an Instagram page strategy?
Definitely not.
Attribute sales to, yeah.
What I'm interested in is like if my sales go up, I don't give a shit where it came from. That's how I think.
this is where I don't like ad agencies because they'll try and make their numbers look really good, but it's not actually bottom line growth, which is what we care about.
Yeah.
Because I want to look at the entire marketing ecosystem and go, what are all the inputs that we're doing? What are the conversion analytics through each of the different inputs? How much money and effort is getting, so how much money with ad spend and how much money with team and infrastructure and operating is actually happening? And then what's the end output of how many sales and what is our cash collection from the sales immediately? What's our cash collection from 30 days of sales? What's cash collection from 90 days of sales? Because then we can have a system. Because then when someone says, well, what's our ad budget? I'm like, we don't have an ad budget, dude. Because what actually happens is we're able to collect a sale, take that money, put it immediately back into the marketing system that gets us back another sale. And then we just try and do that process over and over as fast as possible.
I would love to know what was running. Like, were you consistently running top funnel campaigns, like lead magnets, that sort of stuff? Did you try any DTC style ads? Like, what was the main vibe of the ads?
I have no fucking idea. That's why these guys are here.
The ads that we've been running for is, we have a couple different tiers on them. So one of the top tiers is like building the brand awareness. So we do take some of his top performing reels and content that's just giving value, that's just giving different things to the market, to put some ad dollars behind that to build an audience. So then that way you guys know how ads go. We then on the back end of the audiences, then start retargeting them for T2 ads is what we call, which is list building, and getting them into different free lead magnets, whether that's the texting one that you guys went through, our IG ebook one, that's another one that a lot of people love, or the free Facebook group. So then get them again, brand awareness, and then we have the different call to action ads.
From everything it sounds like, Brian, to me, and don't take this as like, this is word, right? But it sounds like Austin and Harris that, Brian, you've been around for years, right? Building this, probably one of the biggest in the space. I reckon you've almost probably exhausted your top 10% of people that are problem aware and ready to buy.
I agree.
That TAM is coming to an end.
Yep.
And so when you've got this much, and Austin Harris, you know this terminology, like when you got that much frequency in an ad account where it's like you can't track attribution because one person's in a chat and then they're back to an ad, usually tells us we've really got to push to a new column market.
One thing that comes to me is like, do I really think Brian's going to be on his phone messaging me on Instagram? There's almost those like, do we need to actually put a separator between access to Brian? Why am I going to get on a call with someone when I'm talking to Brian in the DM? To me, like, there's the closeness in that market that's happening as well. So we need to start to like position that. The brand positioning of truly who you are, how does that actually affect the messaging and the mechanisms that we use for sales as well? So it's kind of like, that is a big aspect that comes to me as well. The other one is the actual true offer of what is it that we're going for as well. So like, for example, like one thing that I was jamming on yesterday with this is actually like, what are the ascension tiers and the roadmap that we're creating? So there's like, hey, if there's kind of the get certified, right? So you can start, that's a business opportunity.
Yep.
You've got a 9-to-5 job, you're like, you love going to the gym, but you don't even know where to get started, right? So there's like, that is a huge opportunity to be able to take place. There's the people that have started and are in the gym, or maybe they've got a couple of clients that they want to get to that 10K mark. And then the other thing I wrote was like, create a roadmap for 10K, do you know what I mean? Get to 100K and then get to 100K a month, right? So it's like these 3 big tiers of a roadmap that we can start to map out. And then we create verticals for each of those people and talk specifically to those people as well. There is a lot of like influencers and people that have large followings and people that are doing pretty bloody well, but really want to go to the next level, that you can help them be able to be that. Like, you can be the master maker when it comes to these other things, because I know, and I'm sure you do as well, but like, I know tons of fucking fitness influencers that aren't making money.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And being like, how do we blow these people up with our system?
Yeah.
Because then you're known as the person who's like, yeah, I can help you get to 10K a month, but I can also help this person get to 10 million, right?
Yeah.
You guys probably experienced this, and potentially some of Brian's bad experience with agencies before. Even you boys, like, when was the last time you guys like sat down with Brian and like went through ideation around like ads and messaging and positioning?
We actually,
quarter at the start of Q1.
yeah. We sat down for like 4 hours. We did like a half day.
You
We do
know,
it pretty often.
you know what the best of the best do? Every motherfucking week. Because it's like what we're doing, and especially in this one, we're in a bidding war, right? You guys are trying to outspend these guys, but we don't necessarily want to outspend, we want to outsmart as well. So like, I think the biggest thing is getting super connected with your founder or who's strategically planning with it and going through those ideation phases, or someone who's, you know, could be CEO, etc. Because the importance from it comes, their brains, like Brian's brain, Austin and Harris, obviously you guys would know, like operates at probably like 1,000,000 miles an hour, and he's like trying to keep up with ideas, concepts, for luck, because, you know, he's the brains of genius. So you've got to be able to capture that, and then from there explore, what do we do for ideas, angles, etc. Do we leave it up to Brian to go like, hey, like, I'm the only person that's going to come up with stuff? No, you guys get way better skilled in marketing and media buying to be like, I'm constantly hearing this, right? So I think it's just, if you got those 3 things, it's just the amplification of how much are we testing, what are we doing with audiences. You sound like you're already like great guys and on the track of like going broadening audiences. PS, like the advantage plus targeting is fucking fire. Don't hate on that. Like, use it, leverage it. It's powerful.
Yeah.
So those are really the top 3 right now.
What was the third one, Cal? I got running, boosting, direct to call. What was the third one?
The VSL. So it's a VSL funnel, so like a training funnel, and then your DTC is more like, it's a book to call in the ads, essentially like, yo, I'm Brian, I'm the best, this is the why, book in a call with me, chat. So essentially.
Like, what's the CPA cost then for you guys for what we're trying to build? What would be like a good goal that you guys would set?
If your CPA is like sub $1,000, like, I think it's pretty darn good, especially if you're selling off of ads. But depending on the price of the offer, right? So I'd say on a 10K offer, $1,000 and under would be absolutely banging. If you're selling anything like 30, 40, 50, usually with like a full built out marketing team, CMO, marketing coordinator, copywriter, etc., you'd be wanting to be your total CPA around anywhere from 4,500 to 6,000.
On the front end, what are you guys doing with ads? Are you guys, 10% of the ad spend budget is going towards testing things? Are you testing different audiences every day? What are you guys kind of doing there?
it comes in waves. So some months static will work a lot better, videos will work a lot better. So it's not only type, it's not only what is the physical ad, but like what type of media you're actually using. Scale by placement, boys. Like look at placements. Like don't just scale by your cost per clicks and whatnot. Like look at placements and where they're dominating. Turn shit off daily. Turn stuff on daily. Yep. I know you're not in your head, Austin, but the amount of guys I spoke to that wouldn't have a clue how to do that or don't do it. It's crazy. Actual physical ads. We've got a DTC framework that works really well, especially for our Instagram and in our application funnel we use all. We run a DTC framework, which is essentially like how we pull on someone's emotions, enlighten the problem, backed by a story, backed by a client, stuff like that. So that's our main sort of video one for that. And then a lot of the stuff you guys are already doing, we love utilising great organic media that's popped up really well, but not just for the views and reach. Like some guys are like, hey, look, this media worked really well for us, got like 20,000 views. Well, I'm like, cool, but if the position's off, we don't use it, right? Like, it'd be your top 3, 4 that best position. So somewhere of the mid-range of it's got great reach, it's got great positioning. Find those middle ground hosts. They're usually going to be the best for type and quality that come through.
And your definition of positioning would be like it's a video that clearly demonstrates authority, that it's like showing what we're trying to showcase with the brand. Got it.
Image or video that clearly demonstrates this is exactly what we're doing, who we help. Yeah.
Yeah.
From
Okay.
there, once again, the volume of you do that and how quick your ads work for you will come down to how quick your content team can actually deliver this stuff to the other one.
Dude, I'm filming right fucking now. I film nonstop. These guys give me fucking ads. It's done today. I'm not joking. I don't fuck around. This YouTube will be up in 2 days. I'm not playing.
Love it. We'll love it. So there you go, Wiz. You got Brian. He's in the hot seat, man. Like getting it done, getting it ready. Yeah, it's not really good. Look at that. So cool.
Cool.
Now that you're not selling by chat anymore, we can really see what's show rate, we can really see what's close rate, and we can really actually dive into those metrics from a complete call booking funnel.
Okay, cool.
You said that you wanted to see more emails on the back end from the time they book a call to the time they're actually on the call. In the past, what I've done with other companies, I've usually just done 3 emails, and obviously the first one's hey, here's what to kind of expect, and then the one after that is a testimonial, and then the one after that is more of a reminder. I guess I'm just curious what you guys have done in the past so that maybe we can kind of take that as ideas and run with it. Obviously we're going to need to test that too, but just something like a base for now, I guess.
The way I do it and see best work now is we create an absolute banging VSL and you drive that in the first few emails to ensure they go through. And this is where we can get pretty technical on the actual setup. So especially if they haven't clicked and they haven't gone to watch the VSL, we really follow it up from a couple of key different angles to make sure that they actually do that. There's probably a bunch of stuff that I definitely would fix just with the copy and stuff like that as well with it. But essentially it's I can see the call to action is obviously text me back. But there's no link here that takes me anywhere to be able to actually do anything. Or, and again, super important for email, there's a super sneaky trick that we use with a webhook and your Gmail email, Brian, in the second email that we send in the sequence. So it sends through a webhook through Gmail to ensure that we get it into their inbox. Then we get them to reply back. So that one email is to get them to reply back. That's typically, I'd do something in the actual sender's name, it would be Brian in brackets personal, right? And then we get them to reply back, which then gets the open rates to the emails far higher, right? This was something I learned off Sharon, Brian. This super sneaky, and it fucking works like magic.
Yeah.
And again, so it's first email is this is the automated email, but then the second email looks like it's actually not a fully automated email and really gets them to go through in it. Then the follow-ups, Jasmine, with the emails after that, I would want to take them through a journey of really personalized looking emails that's taking them into the main objections. And this is where we kind of deep dive into all right, what are the actual objections that we're hearing on the front lines? So personally, this is me, I would then want to be talking with the actual closers and be what is going on in these calls? What are the words they are saying? Like, show me the transcript of these calls so I can see what the actual language and verbiage that is coming out of them. And then we tap that back into the emails. Obviously, we tap that back into the ads and marketing and all that kind of stuff, but very specifically with the emails. So the email system will change over time as we kind of use that data to craft it. So we get pretty technical into that sort of stuff. And then it's obviously Brian just having some like banging content where it's like, one's going to be a podcast, let's drive them to the podcast. Another one's going to be to the YouTube. Another one's going to be into an IG. So we want to make sure that we use all of the different socials that we can drive them into as well. There's one email that always pops, and it's an email that makes it look like it's coming from one of your team members, Brian. So it looks like you sent an email to one of your team members from your iPhone, and it goes to one, let's say it goes to one of your closers. Let's call them Steve, right? And then the email goes from Steve to the prospect, and in the email it looks like you've said to Steve, hey, can you message Chris because I've got this XYZ and I think it could really help him. And then Steve then sends me the email for it. The fucking reply rates on this thing is like dangerously high. The other thing as well is, especially in those first couple of emails, giving them options to go and consume something different and then tracking what they're actually wanting to consume. So it's almost like a invisible quiz funnel that we're using, because then when we can track them to they wanted to see more about an Instagram script, right, that does XYZ, then we can continue that story out.
One thing that I was kind of throwing in there that could possibly help you, Jasmine, and this is one thing that's working with one of our other accounts, is possibly throwing in a quiz funnel to learn more about them, to learn more what's going on, to then really segment them based off that top end, or even by the funnel that you went through, Chris, where it's like, where are you at? Like, what's your revenue business? From there, having a spider web, like email sequence fully built from, hey, I'm here, because obviously we're gonna talk to them differently on that side. And then
quiz funnels are really good. Just like to pull on that thread super quickly. Like, I think the quiz funnel thing's really good. If we really have the diagnostic system behind it that makes it really actually valuable, like that's something we'd definitely build out. I wouldn't, like, if we looked at the projects that we'd work on together, that wouldn't be next quarter project. That's probably
for sure. Right.
Yeah, that's probably like Q3 that we would build out, but that is definitely something that I would tap into this system as well to personalize the process. But also that where once we've nailed the first few campaigns, the people that haven't resonated with this stuff will probably resonate with more of a quiz funnel kind of thing as well. Just the psychology behind it.
Yeah, no. On that BSL though, on executables, it would be like, so that sort of drop-down form of application style, set it up almost as a mini quiz, but it is an application. And then in the back end, you'd want to be segmenting it, and whether you can make active campaigns and GSO tour, you'd want to be segmenting that based on opt-ins, right? So come up with a lead score of, 1 to 10, or what's a 1 to 3 look like, a 4 to 7, and a 8 to 10. And from there, Jasmine, you'll have all the tools in your belt. So you'll have 3 lists now, not just the master broadcast, but 3 lists of how do I communicate this effectively. Just that scoring alone, even if you didn't have anyone book through the calls from that, you'll make a hell of a lot more call bookings just from email, simply.
So just one thing, in the actual application funnel as well, the form that people actually apply with and like go through that process. So I've got an example of what we've got here. The usual kind of like black belt boardroom application form stuff that used to get put out, Brian, is like not what I suggest at all, especially when we think about brand positioning. Cal and I are both jazzed. I think that call as well just shows the amount of potential you've got, Brian, is fucking outrageous. Yeah. Like, fucking outrageous. And again, that's why I was like, you should be doing, I see this as a couple of M a month of what you can really build this out to ultimately at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Team's good, bro. Like, they're smart cookies.
Yeah.
Like, I can sniff out a shitty media buyer within seconds. They're on top of it. They're trying the right things. Like, they're good guys.
Yeah.
Right? Jasmine seems like the gun, super integrated. Like, this isn't a classic, oh, you've just got a shit team executing shit stuff. Like, not at all. So, like, essentially, what our offering looks like, bro, like, we usually take some of that stuff upon, like, so we'll actually physically run the ads, etc. But I think there's heaps of room here for, like, wiggle room of, like, how do we potentially just, like, support those guys to really excel in the paid advertisement and, like, that only. So, like, I mean, like, essentially what it could look like, Brian, is I've got the ideation matrix and stuff and how we run those meetings, etc. Like, be happy to jam with those guys weekly what we do, break down the matrix, what we try, and all the reporting documents, all that sort of jazz, to really just push it and just be there, bro, like all in to support from whatever the knowledge I've gained over the last 8-9 years and like how we get this like paid stuff pumping. Like, and Chris, I think I definitely see Chris like supporting a lot more in the copy area because Chris probably never said to this personally, but I think that's probably what Chris is best at, is he can write, man. He can write. Write stuff, get big. So I think it's worthwhile. Just sorry, Chris, I'll finish up a second. I think it's worthwhile looking at what it could look like for us to do some work together, but I don't think we need to be physically, writing documents and shit, like fully crazy in there, you know what I mean? Like, I think your team just needs a little bit of extra support that you might be too broad at the moment. And heaps of pies to really nail it in.
And I thank you for that. I agree. And I actually I've been through a lot in the last few years, like a lot of like team and fired a lot of people, hired a lot of people. Like I've been through like the building the team, and now I actually, for the first time, I talked to Chris in the gym as well. For the first time ever, I actually do feel like I have the team to scale. I also feel like I have the model to scale because like the coaches that have been with us for a long fucking time. The clients that join the program, they fucking love it. Like the team that I have is like willing to it's like 10 p.m., 11 p.m. over there. I told them about the meeting and nobody was like, nope, can't make it. Like they're all like, yep, sounds good. I'll be there, fucking bells and whistles. So like we have the team. We just need the blueprint. Like we have everything. We just need do this, then do this, then do this. Let's report back. What's next? Let's do this. And like I want the blueprint from somebody that's done it. And so like, Chris, you did it. You fucking did exactly what I want to do. So like, that's why I was like, in the gym, I was like, what the fuck does it look like to work with you? Because I don't know if you do one-on-one, but you need to start doing it because I want what you have.
I think this is a case of, Brian, you and me are like high-level strategy. This is what has to happen overall. These are all the big moving pieces of the chess puzzle and that kind of stuff. Cal, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is where you're there really also supporting the team and making sure they're executing and doing this stuff right, that we've got the right playbooks and SOPs for then the team to do. So think of us as well then, Brian, as in like we're here to support and upgrade the team and make sure they're really good. So it's not so much hands in, but we're still there, do you know what I mean, with it as well, but it's just making sure everything gets executed, because ultimately, if we're super clear on big high level strategy, and that stuff's getting built out properly, and then on a actual like quarterly basis, we know these are the playbooks, these are the projects, these are the things that we need to get done every quarter, and then we're just making sure everyone's doing their job right, and we're greenlighting everything as we go through, and we're looking at the metrics at the end of every fucking week, and being able to be like, okay, this is what's happening with the ads, and like, Cal, like this is where you're doing this fucking gun at, and being like, these ads aren't working, these ads are working. Brian, I need more of this content, do you know what I mean? Turn this off. And like, even with Jasmine, I was like, hey, I would want to sit down with her and spend plenty of time with her to be like, let's get this email strategy down and help her become gun. Like she's got the stuff, and this is why I wanted to talk with all of the team, because again, like what Cal said, we can sniff a shit ad buyer, do you know what I mean, from a mile away, but they're good, like they're there, and you could see they're hungry for it, and they're like, give us the fucking, do you know what I mean, meat and potatoes of this. So I think that's the way it works.
I'm really, 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 really excited to work with you guys, and I will literally you tell me to jump off a fucking bridge, I will jump off a fucking bridge, okay? I'm gonna bring a parachute, but I'm gonna jump off a bridge. I will do whatever the fuck it takes. I will do whatever it takes. I'm so fucking ready for it, dude. Like I'm just like, I'm ready for it. I just need the strategy. I need to know what to do, what to say, when to say it, how to say it. And I'm like, I've got a guy fucking recording me right now. This is all I do. This is what I want to do. I want to take over. I want to be the best in the fucking industry.
I've got to bounce for school pickup right now. Cal, are you good to wrap this? And
yeah, he's busy, man.
Cool. Thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Thank you. Paying for the right ideas. The value of a good idea. It's priceless.
I wish more people had a brain like you, Brian.
I wish I had more fucking people like me too. My business would be growing a lot fucking faster, dude. Trying to replicate me is fucking difficult.
We need to meet like at least once a month, like bare minimum.
I'm down to meet once a week if you want to meet once a week.
Okay, sweet. Okay, we'll do it. I was like, every founder's
No.
different, some founders like,
Dude,
okay.
this is the only thing that I care about. I will meet once a week.
Okay, sweet. So it's like realistically we'll probably do like bi-weekly, and that's where say, you know, we can jam. Yeah, like Chris can be there, me might not be there. Well, there's a cadence, bro. Some cadence. I'll shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But, like bi-weekly, we might jam for like say 20 minutes, dude. Where you don't talk about strategy, but you just dump ideas. What you've been seeing with clients, what you've been seeing with the industry.
Yeah.
And I'll be there to essentially come with an agenda and be like, Ryan, let's talk about this. You leave, go live Ryan's life. Cal takes that, jam to the team. We concept like this.
Cool.
I kid you not, just facilitating the ideation around it with the matrix, the proper matrix, those two boys, Jasmine and myself, like having a jam session on that, Garrett, I'm so fucking confident we'll have concepts, ideas that pop. So confident.
Cool.
So confident.
Cool. That's what I like to hear.
I'll jump off a cliff with you, yeah?
I like to hear that. Bro. All right, bro. Is there anything you need from me? Anything else that I can answer for you? Anything you're curious about?
No, dude, no, not at all.
Thank you for your time today. This was very insightful. I'm very excited.
Awesome, bro. Awesome.
All right.
Appreciate you coming through, bro.
Of course, bro. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. I feel relief. I feel like finally we're gonna have somebody who knows what the fuck they're doing building their shit. I don't know why it feels so good, but it feels good. When you have a goal or an aspiration or a dream, it's so important to find a mentor that's walked your path. And like we've been blessed to be able to help 5,000 plus coaches quit their 9-to-5s and take their business online. And I believe that we're the best in the fucking industry. And so the fact that we don't have more clients in our ecosystem is upsetting to the point where like I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get the result. And so I'm gonna do it. We're gonna call Cole first to double confirm, but I don't really, like, even if Cole said no, I would pay for it out of my own money because I like believe in it that much. I think this is gonna be the thing that takes us to the next level and I'm ready to go all in. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys got some value. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on post notifications and chase your dreams. Let's go.